So welcome everybody to this free call of what gift are you to the world? So thank you all so much for being here with me. This call was very, very loud. I kind of woke up about a week ago and it was like, create me in the world. And I was like, okay. And it's been so loud ever since. And as I was just saying, for those of you that were on here before we started recording, I've already had Coke at 7:30 in the morning. So how does it get better? So this is a topic that I really love to explore and actually have a really vulnerable conversation with you guys about, because it kind of is everything. And it's related very much to receiving. And for those of you that have never ever taken any form of access consciousness classes before, I will be using the access consciousness clearing statement during this call, which is a sentence that doesn't make sense. It's meant to go beyond your mind and actually clear all the energy that's keeping you from truly being that gift of you. So that is right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. And you can go to theclearingstatement.com for more information as well, guys, if you require more after this call. So there's someone that's making noise. If you guys could just make sure you're all muted, that would be amazing. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, guys. So this whole idea of you being a gift is and has been a concept to me until very recently. And I've heard a lot of people talk about, you know, you're a gift just by being you. And I'm kind of like, well, what does that even mean? And then very recently, for those of you who read my post on social media, I actually recognized that it's so directly linked to receiving that I'd heard before that I never actually truly got. And you get it when you get it. So ask and you shall receive is one of the laws of the universe. It's the way things work around here. And most of you would have heard about that law before. The thing is, one, you have to ask in order to receive, but most people don't recognize if you will not be the gift, you cannot actually receive everything you've been asking for. That may look like more money to expand your business. That may look like more ease and joy in your relationships or just a relationship. And so what I began to recognize is that gifting and receiving actually occur simultaneously, meaning that when you receive, so do you gift. And when you gift, so do you receive. But you cannot gift until you actually be that gift of you. And it's so interesting because this whole idea of being the gift lies beyond what we do and what we say. And for me, when I started my business, facilitating business, and some of you may have heard this story before, particularly when I started facilitating online classes and courses, I honestly would get off a call that I facilitated, whether that was full or paid, and I would just be waiting for someone to message me just to acknowledge that that call was a gift, that it changed something in their world, that it was a contribution. Most of us don't realize that we don't really care about money. And so for those of you that have a business, or, you know, it doesn't even matter if you don't have a business, but just you showing up as you in the world, most of us have never really been empowered to know or recognize that we don't really care about the money. What we want so desperately is for someone to get the gift that you are in the world or that you actually create in the world. And this is what I kind of spent my entire life doing, is waiting for someone to get that gift of me so I could finally get it. Thinking that if no one actually acknowledged or recognized it, then I mustn't be the gift. And that was the biggest lie I ever bought. So what point of view and what lies have you all bought that prevent you from being and acknowledging the gift of you? And everything that is, times a gazillion, we destroy and ungraded, please. Right, on good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And everywhere you've made yourself wrong for desperately waiting for someone to get the gift of you or the gift and the contribution you be to the world, we destroy and uncreate that too. Right, on good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what I did for the first year of my coaching facilitation business is I'd get off one of my calls, and if no one messaged me, I would honestly cry for half a day straight and just want to give up. Because what I've decided is if I wasn't actually gifting and contributing to the world, then what's the point? Like, what am I here for? And I can probably guarantee most of you on this call are in the world because you desire to change the world. You're here because you know something different is actually possible and available. And so if you don't actually get this gift that you be, you will constantly be seeking it from something or someone outside of you, which means you will constantly prevent you from receiving everything that you actually desire. So everywhere you guys have decided that you're a detriment to the world, or that you're taking up space, we destroy and create that times a gazillion. Right, on good and bad, pod and pork, all in shorts, boys and beyonds. And how much have you guys spent the majority of your life just feeling wrong? Just wrong. Just everything you do is wrong. Nothing you do is good enough. And really, that's kind of this like insanity and programming that we grow up with most of our life, which creates this space where we're constantly seeking outside of us for proof that we are that gift. So my invitation for you guys today, and why I wanted to create this call, is what if you never had to look outside of you to validate or have someone acknowledge that gift of you again? What if there was an entire new universe available to you that actually lied beyond the proving, the searching, the seeking for the gift that you are, and it was something that you could just be? And for me, I'm still exploring this. Like I said, this is kind of what I recognized and realized, like, you know, a few days ago with the whole kind of idea of it being totally connected to receiving. And I think a lot of people like kind of go down this path and this journey and go, well, why aren't I, you know, receiving as much money as I like? Or why isn't my business expanding? And why can't I meet someone? Because if you do not get that gift, you cannot actually receive. So all of the judgments you have of you that separate you from being comfortable in getting the gift of who and what you are, we destroy and uncreate that times a gazillion. Right, on good and bad, pod and pork, all in shorts, boys and beyonds. So when we judge ourselves, and this is what I was doing after, like before and after every single call I was facilitating. So you guys might have something similar, or there just might be something that you guys are judging yourself for immensely. When I was judging myself before the calls that I was doing and after the calls that I was doing, I was locking myself out of being. When we judge ourselves, we lock ourselves out of being, which eliminates the gift of us. And this is what you've got to get. When we judge ourselves, instead of offering the gift we are to the world, we offer everything we've decided is wrong with us. So all the judgments you have of you that prevent you from being the gift that you be, we destroy and create that times a gazillion. Right, on good and bad, pod and pork, all in shorts, boys and beyonds. And if you take nothing else from this call, please get that you being the gift has nothing to do with what you do and nothing to do with what you say. Nothing. And this was kind of the piece of information that I was missing. I was like, what do you mean? I'm a gift just by breathing? And what if that was true for you guys too? I know that that is true for you guys too. And so this is where we create this insanity where we're constantly looking for what we do and what we say to prove that we are a gift and we deserve to be in the world. So please feel free to unmute yourself as well if you have any questions. I'm just going to kind of keep talking and keep pulling things out of your head. So the whole idea of like being the gift is actually the difference that we be in the world. Growing up, so many of us be us. Like as little kids, we have this exuberance and this abundance and this joy, and we're just being us. And at some point, what we do is, generally speaking, when we kind of go to school, and particularly go to high school, we try and believe that we're like everybody else. And fit, which actually eliminates our being. When we try and be like everybody else, when we try and be like other facilitators, other coaches, your friends, your family, when you look to others, something or someone else outside of you, to be like them, you eliminate your very being. in that moment, you actually eliminate the gift that you be. The gift that you be in the world is the difference that you be, that is not like anyone else. The gift that you are is different from the gift that anybody else is. So everywhere you guys have decided that the gift of you is a nice idea and a concept that you're never going to get when you destroy and uncreate that times a gazillion. Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And the thing is, like with this, trying to fit, try and be like everyone else, what we tend to do is instead of looking for what's extraordinary about us, we look for what's normal about us. Because in order to fit, we have to look at what's normal about us that's like everybody else. You won't look at you and see how unique you actually are. What if you began to choose that? What if you began to actually turn to you and actually began to see how unique you are? That brilliance is the gift. You are that gift that you are refusing to be, that if you actually chose it would make everything work. And this is what we do, which is so interesting. Like we think that the more we do, the more we say, creates this space where we can be that gift. But the more you look to see what's extraordinary about you and what's unique about you, the more receiving you will have access to, and the more everything will work. How does it get any better than this? Does anyone have any questions so far?
There are a few in the chat box, Ash, from Veronica Fong. She's asked, if you're consistently looking outside of you for validation, does it mean you don't recognize the gift of yourself?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And that's exactly what I mean, that's what most of us choose. That's what most of us are kind of led to believe, right? That the gift of us doesn't lie within us. It lies outside of us. It lies within everybody else's points of view. So everything that is, and everywhere you guys have decided that the gift of you does not lie within you, but it lies within everybody else, which keeps you constantly seeking validation outside of you, where you destroy and uncreate that times a gazillion. Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So Joanna says, I feel like I need more clearings. The words don't sink yet. This is a really big topic, guys, by the way. So please don't judge you if you don't get it yet. And we have the recording so you can go back and listen to it again and again. So everything that doesn't allow you guys to, let's do this. So all the points of view, all the decisions, all the conclusions, all the judgments you have that keep you from being, knowing, perceiving, and receiving the gift of you, we destroy and uncreate that times a gazillion. Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And Alejandra says, what would it take to be so in tune with our awareness we don't invalidate it anymore? Yeah, and that's a really good question. Keep asking that question. So anytime you guys, so let's do this. So when you don't get the gift of you, you are looking outside of you for someone else to validate what you've done, what you've said. You are looking for someone to tell you that you are amazing, that what you're choosing is amazing, that what you're doing is amazing. So when we get the gift of us, we don't ever require anyone else's validation or acknowledgement again. So all the parts and pieces of you that you've eliminated to fit into this reality, which eliminates what is unique about you, will you destroy and uncreate that times a gazillion? Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So all the parts and pieces of you that you've eliminated to fit into this reality that eliminates what is unique about you and eliminates the gift that you be, will you destroy and uncreate that times a gazillion? Right, on good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. How many of you are working hard not to be as unique as you truly be? A few of you or all of you? So everything that is, and all the energy you're using to never work, to work hard, to not be as unique as you truly be, will you destroy and uncreate that times it gets again? All right, wrong, good and bad, pon, poc, or name, shorts, boys and beyonds. So this is the thing, the gift of you lies in the difference of you, which is something that we will never acknowledge, because we think that being more normal makes everything work. How many of you think that if you are just more normal and like everybody else, then everything will work because everything else is working for everybody else? No. The less normal you are, the more things can show up miraculously for you. Because the less normal you are, the more you are being the gift, which means the more you can receive. Did someone just have a question? I think someone had their hand up and then they put it down. Yep. Tamara says, sometimes I wish I would be okay with the normal. Cool. So what have you guys decided normal will give you that unique won't?
Andrew physically has his hand up too, being very tech savvy there.
You can unmute yourself.
I have. How are you? And good, just great to see you.
Too.
I just wanted to say it's amazing, isn't it? It's not until you actually start loving yourself and when you have that ability that your world can change.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, like I did that exercise of a muscle test just to say, body or whatever, do you love me? And how often it says no. And it's our own judgment that's really causing that.
Yeah.
And how easy it is to convert that sometimes when you let it all go. So
Yeah.
thanks for this topic. It's been really banging away in my world so much the last couple of days. So
Yes,
thank you.
You're so welcome. Yeah, it's been very present in mine too. So awesome. How does it get any better? Donna Marie says, I used to, and now know that it is a lie, the untruth, the unreality that is the paradigm that we've been living, changing and choosing to be the change. Amazing. How does it get better? So cool. So everything you guys have decided, judged, concluded, and computed, that the gift of you lies outside of you. And it lies within what you do and what you say. Will you destroy and uncreate that times a gazillion? Right, on good and bad, pod and poc, or name, shorts, boys and beyond. So everywhere you guys have decided that the gift of you lies outside of you and lies within what you do and what you say. Will you destroy and uncreate that times a gazillion? Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, or name, shorts, boys and beyonds. The gift of you lies within your willingness to create a different reality. How many of you here desire to create a different reality? How many of you know something different is possible and available? That's the gift. Becoming and being the inspiration for others to choose a different possibility and a different reality, that is the gift that you are. And the thing is, like, we can't and won't ever recognize like the inspiration and the change that we be in the world, because it goes beyond logic. You choosing joy over sadness changes the world. You laughing changes the world. You not judging you changes the world. These are choices that you guys are probably making every day that you've never actually acknowledged before. As you become the gift of you, the universe starts providing everything you're asking for. So many of us think that as you do, so shall you receive. But it's really as you be, so shall you receive. So what more can you be that you've never willing to be before? What more can you be? What more can you gift that you've never been willing to gift before? And how much more of you can you gift to the world that would allow you to receive beyond your wildest dreams? And I can hear your heads go, that sounds really good. How the hell do I do that? And this is the interesting part about this conversation. Being is not an action. It's a space. For me, the quickest way to access being is through relaxation. As soon as you get out of your head, as soon as you're not thinking, as soon as you're not judging, as soon as you're not making yourself wrong, you get closer to the space of being. So right now, let's do this really quickly. For those of you that desire, close your eyes. Wherever you are, and just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. In another deep breath in and a deep breath out. Just become really present with your surroundings. Noticing 3 points of contact. Feet on the floor. Your bum on the seat, your back on the seat. And just beginning to expand your energy out to the outside edges of the universe. And just lower any energetic walls and barriers you've raised. All the way down to the ground. And just begin to relax every single muscle, every single fiber in your body. Relax more now. Get out of your head. Stop thinking. Push your head all the way out. Push your thoughts out of your head. And just be. In this space right here, beyond thinking, beyond doing, beyond saying, beyond judgment, is the gift of you. And from this space, what if you began to ask the universe to show you what the gift of you is? From this space, do you get the gift of you? if you will start to be this gift even more, you will teach your children, their children, to be the gift. And this space is the greatest gift you can give to the world. Beyond all doing, beyond all thinking, beyond what you say. And so if you're willing to get this, what receiving would you have access to? You guys can open your eyes if you haven't already. From that space, do you guys actually get the gift of you? Because you can't get there through your head, which is interesting because I'm trying to have a conversation with you to get you there. And then I was like, I could just take you there energetically. Cool, guys. So what if you guys started playing with the question, what can I gift? And what gift am I to the world that would allow me to receive more? And what gift am I to the world that I've been pretending not to know and denying that I know? Cherie says, funny, it's like I'm not willing to see the gift I be. Yeah, and I mean, again, this is not like a one call changes all. And like, what would it take? This is, I mean, this is going to be something that you guys are shifting and changing and choosing differently. Like you probably have been most of your life and will continue to be. But the thing is, like, what you've got to recognize is if you start truly being the gift of you, how much receiving would you gain access to? How much would everything come to you with ease, joy, and glory? How much would instant actualization be a reality for you? And are you willing to have that? Because if you're not willing to have that, then will you truly ever be willing to get the gift of you? So everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, on good and bad, fun, poor, all name, shorts, boys and beyonds. For those of you that have, done a lot of access consciousness classes or even just done a foundation and know about the elements of creation. So the elements that you use to create anything you desire to create, anything you desire to have, to manifest. The elements of creation are question, choice, possibility, and contribution, right? Most people don't get what contribution actually is, and it's kind of the one that they leave out. The thing is, to contribute, you realize what an amazing gift you are to the world. Contribution actually requires receiving. Receiving requires gifting, which means you would also have to receive the gift you are in totality. Contribution is the gift and contribution you actually be to the world through receiving everything you desire. So everything that is, we destroy and create it. Right, wrong, good and bad, pun, poor, corner, in shorts, boys and beyonds. Sarah, you have a question or your hands raised if you want to unmute yourself.
Hey, yeah, no, I don't really have a question. I just had an awareness of, I just have this little like statue thing of this tree in my room. So when I opened my eyes, I was, oh, so when you look at a tree, it doesn't need to do anything or prove anything or say anything. It just be's a gift and be's a contribution. It's just gifting and receiving. It's just nature. So I think if we look at trees or nature, then we can start to get the gift of us from that space as well. So I just wanted to share that.
Really, thank you. That's amazing. Yeah, and that is like, nature does show you what gifting and receiving truly is. Like the trees, you know, receive the sun and receive the rain and receive the wind in totality with no point of view, and then they can gift these amazing fruits. So it's like there is no doing, there is no saying, it's just total being. And within that space of being comes the space of total receiving. So yeah. Megan?
Good morning.
Morning.
I know, like, since meeting you and having sessions with you and stuff like that, I've realized that I was willing to do for other people and like contribute to other people, but I wasn't actually willing to do that for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I've started gifting myself more and doing things for me, I feel like I can recognize my gift now because I'm actually gifting it to me, so I can start to identify it.
Yeah.
So that's been really cool to look at it, like to always look externally at what you're giving people. You may not be able to see what you actually give. And you've helped me see that including me in the picture and gifting me exact same things. Now it's more, I can see it. It's in my world now. So I hope that contributes to someone.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. That's awesome. And the thing is, like, if you guys don't recognize the gift of you, you're eliminated from your reality. Like if you won't include you in your life, meaning if you won't actually get the gift of you, then you eliminate yourself from your reality and from your future. So this is where it becomes way more challenging to receive and to actualize and manifest everything you desire, because you're not actually included in your future. And this is what I recognized when I wrote that post about, you know, I was desiring my business to grow and it had kind of plateaued for maybe 6 months or so. And it was still like amazing. And I was grateful and everything. And I was really looking at like, okay, what's required here? And that's what I got. Like, well, it was actually on a team meeting that maybe it was Sarah. Sarah actually said, like, are you willing to be adored? And I was like, no. Like, it was like so uncomfortable. Like, actually that energy of like people adoring me. And so what I've been doing is like, I'm refusing to have people adore me. So of course I'm not going to allow my business to grow, because then more people are going to know about me and then more people will adore me. And so what I recognized is I started looking at that and I'm like, wow, I'm not willing to be adored. And I was like, why? And I was like, wow, because I don't adore me. Like, because I don't truly get the gift of me. And if I was going to then receive the adoration that people had for me, then I'd have to receive the gift that I actually be in the contribution I be in their world. And somewhere in my world, I still decided that I was this messed up weirdo that had no friends at school. So how could I possibly be contributing someone to create something greater as their life? And that's when I started really diving into this and going, well, the gift of me actually isn't in what I do or say anyway. And what I recognized is, particularly like for facilitators or coaching and that, you're always looking for what can I say that will create the change in the world, rather than what can I be that actually creates the greatest change in the world. So yeah, how does it get into that?
What was the question that you used to ask yourself when you were looking at what you couldn't be? Like, what was that question that you used? Sorry, you might remember it now.
Did I just say it? Or you mean the one, what the tool?
I think you said it. Or maybe I heard it and you didn't really say it. If you're not willing to like see, or if you're not willing to be something, what would you ask? Like,
to allow others to adore you.
Oh, so just the question, like with anything, what would it take to be willing to receive the adoration that others have of me?
Okay, thank you.
So you can use the blanket questions for anything. So anything that you guys are refusing, like, or not willing. So if you're not willing to actually see the gift of you, if like this call has annoyed you more than actually like allowed you to access the space, because you're like, oh, this is just bringing up all the things, which is totally okay too. What would it take to be willing? Okay, if you recognize you're not willing to get the gift of you right now, to acknowledge it, okay, what would it take to be willing to be the gift of me? universe, show me, what would it take to be willing? And just start with that and play there. And what I really kind of chose was, I was doing energy pools, which I'd love to invite you guys to anyway, and just, again, getting to that space of being and receiving, and just being that energy that allows you to actually get that gift. Because that's the thing, when we try and get somewhere through speaking, thinking, or our mind, it's a much longer, kind of more challenging road to get to, because you're not your mind, but what you do get is energy. So this is where kind of the gift of you goes beyond the doing and saying, because what you don't realize is what you're saying is not what's creating the change. It's what you're being beyond the words that is actually creating the change in people. And when you catch up with people, whether it's friends, whether it's family, whether it's clients, like when you actually catch up with people, it's what you be that starts to change the molecular structure of that person's being. And then they leave and they're like, oh, I feel so much better, you know, when I catch up with you, which I'm sure you guys have probably had a lot of people say. It's not actually what you said, because you could say nothing and they can still leave with that different space. So yeah, how does it get there? Amazing, guys. Any more questions or anything else that we can add?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm really struggling at the moment to let go of a relationship. What's the best way to do that? Would you recommend?
Again, the question, what would it take to be willing to let go?
Thank you.
Ease and joy with this. Yeah.
Sorry? What?
Or to have ease and joy with this. Yeah, what would it take to be willing to let this go and have all of life come to me with ease, joy, and glory?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because you guys have to get, like, when you're not willing to choose something and you're aware you're not willing, I don't judge you, but then ask, okay, if I'm not willing, cool, nothing I do or say right now is going to change it. So now ask, what would it take to be willing? What would that take? What would that look like? And the other thing that I kind of want to add that's pinging in my world is what I noticed as well when I wasn't willing to truly like receive and be the gift of me. Like if you won't recognize the gift that you actually be, you cannot actually recognize those who are a gift to you either. And so this kind of changed so much for me in my relationship, because particularly like romantic relationships or the people that are closest to you, I was kind of constantly like head tripping about my relationship. Do I stay? Do I go? You know, is this fun? Is it not? Like totally going into my head with all of this. And then what I recognized is that, well, if I can't recognize the gift that I actually be, then I can't actually recognize the people that are actually a gift to me either, because I have to see it within me first. So that kind of was a massive light bulb moment that began to like unravel and change everything for me. Because again, everything begins with ourselves. Relationships, like all of this, it starts and ends with you. So who and what is a gift to you? And have you recognized it? And have you received it? And everything that doesn't allow you to be, know, perceive, and receive. The gift, or who and what are a gift to you that you're unwilling to be, know, perceive, and receive because of your projections, your expectations, and your points of view. You just run and create that times it gets in. Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all name shorts, boys and beyonds. So who and what is a gift to you that you've never acknowledged before? That if you actually got the gift of you would allow you to receive the gift of them. Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all name shorts, boys and beyonds. And everywhere you guys have lost or refused to receive the gift of you because others couldn't receive you, or others didn't receive you, we destroy and create that times it gets over. Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And again, when people cannot receive you, or when you've been kind of judged before, or people have rejected you or can't actually receive you being you, it's not because there's something wrong with you, it's because they're not willing to be the gift of them. And there's not many people in the world that are. So just recognize, if you have had people that haven't received you, rejected you, Is it actually because of you, or is it because they weren't actually willing to be or receive the gift of them? Because they weren't taught how to. We're not taught how to. This is us totally like retraining, like, and rewiring our brain, truly. So please be kind to yourself. Sorry guys, I've totally missed the comments too.
Ashlee, can I just ask a question? Do you do any, I work with young people, do you do any courses around that?
I haven't, no.
Oh, right, okay.
In my awareness, but no, I haven't.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. There's just one more question. Fatema, if you want to ask your question, honey, before we finish.
Yes, thank you. Amazing topic. It's like you've answered every question I've had for the past week. Yeah, I swear. Okay, so my question is, I've been kind of frustrated with my business. I want to grow. I desire to grow my business, gift, and contribute to more people. I connect with a lot of people, and so many people want me to contribute to them. But then the last minute, something changes, or nobody signs up, and then I go to like the wrongness of me. Why am I not that gift? What, So I don't know. So like, what do I change? What do I ask? What, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, one question I have for you is, now it's disappeared. I was like, it was there and it's just like left the building. Was about like, okay, let me ask you, and for all of you, like, Truth, are you a true believer in you? Do you actually believe what you have to offer the world will empower people to more?
Like, I think I judge myself that it might not.
Sorry?
I think I judge myself more that whatever I have to offer might not actually contribute and benefit people.
And so is that getting the gift of you or not getting the gift of you?
It's not getting the gift of me.
Which then eliminates receiving.
Right.
So everything that is for all of you, and everything that doesn't allow you to be the true believer in you, we just destroy and great that times a gazillion. Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all name, shorts, boys and beyonds. And this was exactly the same for me, which is so interesting because like these tools of access consciousness, it's so funny, like they've changed every molecule of my being and they've changed every single part of my life. And I know they work, but it's so funny. What I decided is someone else delivering the tools were a gift and would change someone's life, but me delivering the tools were different, which is very funny. But again, it's just another kind of part of you not getting the gift of you. So what would it actually be like for all of you to get the gift of you? And what would truly open up, shift, change, transform in your world and the world because of that choice? And what is the gift that you know that you are, that you've been refusing to show up as, that if you would show up as that gift, would change everything for not only you, but all of us too. And everything that doesn't allow that with ease, joy, and glory, we destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all name, shorts, boys and beyonds. And my, like the home play for you guys, and what I'd love to invite you to is, what if you could be the gift of you, for no one else? What if you would just be that gift for you? What would that actually be like? What if you only did it for you? What would change? Alana. And then we might finish the call.
Thanks, Ashlee. Amazing conversation. But what my question is about, it's about ease.
Mm-hmm.
It's like forever and a day, it's been about more like the harshness of this reality. Mm-hmm. And so with everything that I've done and everything that I be, I'll always come back to, it's like the harshness.
Yep.
And I've done some access and the things that I be in the world, but it brings me back to that each time. And so my question is, in the moment, the harshness, to actually look at it in the eye and then melt it. And what can I be to bring ease to my body? Because it's like I take it in and I take it personal. It's like I make it personal rather than being greater than that.
Yeah.
To be the change. So I'm not quite sure how to allow the question to form, but it's more about what ease and joy and glory can I be to be the killing energy that brings the peace to me in this world, to create something greater.
Yeah, I mean, keep asking questions, but like I would invite all of you to look at, like, instead of what can I do to change this, what can I be to melt this? What can I be that would change all of this with ease? That's the thing, when nothing is like changing, or there's something that you'd like to receive that you're not receiving, it's not because of a doing problem, it's a being problem. So what do I require to be that would change all of this with ease? And again, that could be the gift, be the killing energy, be the space, like whatever that is. And you don't have to define it. You don't have to figure out what you have to be. So it's just to ask.
And I think that's where it is really, I bring it back into my head rather than changing it.
Yeah. Every time you guys bring anything to your head, explode your brain, basically, like push your head out. And that's what the energy pools and that are amazing for. Like if you choose to join us for those, it begins to teach you how to be, because that's the thing. What we've made real and true and relevant is the doing and the saying in this reality. I mean, that's what this reality tells us is what's relevant. It's what's valuable. Our being is the most relevant and valuable thing. But being does not require thinking, does not require words, and is not a doing, which is kind of the invitation for you guys, and the kind of the invitation of all of Access is to get you to function from the infinite being that you be, because that's where everything is available. And to do that, you have to get out of doing, you have to get out of thinking, you have to get out of your head. And hence why the bars are amazing, because it's the first kind of point that allows you to begin to learn how to receive and actually get out of your head. So all of these tools, everything I say is to get you to more being. And when you be, you are the gift, and then you can receive miraculously. So yeah, I would encourage you guys, and this is what I do anytime I'd like to kind of expand my business or have more people choosing classes or whatever that is. What I notice myself first go to is, oh, what do I have to do? I've got to post more. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And then I'm like, wow, how much does that space eliminate my very being, which is the gift, which is the inspiration, the change that people are actually desiring. So I've lately been bringing myself back to that question. As soon as I go to the manic, like, oh, I've got so much to do. Okay, no, relax. What can I be that would actually actualize all of this with ease? And that's been totally changing things. Like I'll have like double the people choose my classes from not doing anything else, but being all of me. So again, just the question. Awesome, guys. All right. That felt like we were just talking for like 200 years. I was like, oh, wow, it's only been 15 minutes. That's amazing. Oh, how does it get better? Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm grateful for you all of you that have never been on a call with me before. Thank you. I'm grateful for each and every one of you, even if you've never met before. I've actually barely met anyone in person before because I haven't left Australia to do any classes. So as I mentioned, the energy pools for receiving, which is kind of going to be the being space of all of this. This is kind of the talking. Starts in 6 days time, and that's 5 days, and it's 125 Australian dollars and 100 US dollars for the 5 days. If you'd really like, you know, that kind of like a guided meditation basically to get you to be the gift of you. And I'm sure Sarah told you I've just started a free Facebook group where I'm going to share the tools to teach you and empower you and inspire you to expand your business with ease too, because that's one thing that I find really easy to talk about that I've been refusing to talk about. So I've started a group. So please, I'll send that link to join us in the follow-up email, and there's just going to be tips, and I'm going to go live and all that kind of stuff. And also, you don't have to have a business to join if you're thinking about starting a business. And if you just want to join, because basically all these tools relate to every area of your life, then please join. So thank you guys. I'll send a follow-up email with all of those links. And
thanks everyone.
Thank you. I adore you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So great. Thank you.
Yo, thanks, Ash.
Bye.
Thanks, Ash.